Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. man of the people, because I enjoy working for fans of the Carolina Panthers. Like to be your source to your direct connect, your friend in the media to help answer any questions that you have about this football team. Carolina Panthers are now facing the Indianapolis Colts, the former team of head coach Frank Reich. And today is really just about giving you that final injury report. Still lining up some things for our pregame show, looking to be a very exciting one, so I'm going to keep plugging it. It's going to be myself, Andre Cassidy, joined by Panther Nation Podcast. Not just Rashad, which we normally have, one half of Panther Nation Podcast, but also Dave. So it's going to be a 4-man show getting you ready for that game. So do yourself a favor, set your reminder, get your video cam ready, because we're going to be taking calls live at Bank of America Stadium pregame for it as well, all right? Let's go ahead and what's up, Supernova? Little salute. Always appreciate you signing in. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and go over the, let's do the injury report first. I didn't properly load this up beforehand, so hopefully I won't show the wrong graphic too many times, but here we go. Final injury report as we get ready for the Indianapolis Colts. Wide receiver DJ Chark, he is questionable with an elbow, so we get a chance to talk to Coach. With this one, it seems like it could be very well that he is a go. It's not like he's more on the side of it. It seems like he's more on the go side of it, but that's not going to be something that is known absolutely for sure until Sunday prior to game. Linebacker Claudin Cherlis, he is out with a knee. Outside linebacker Justin Houston out with a hamstring. So Justin Houston is out with a hamstring. That means we're going to have to go with the new rotation, younger rotation. That means DJ Johnson, EQ Leota, and Valinian, I believe is how you say his name. Expect those guys to be active and get some play with Houston being out. Maybe not a bad thing. I think Houston has been a guy that has, he's been solid doing his job. But if Young is able to come in there and do some good things, why not start to maybe have that as a heavier rotation for your younger guy to get in there and get developed and get some reps versus continue to give Houston the majority of those snaps. Moving on, we also have wide receiver Laviska Shenault. He's out with the ankle. Safety Von Bell, he is doubtful with quadriceps. Again, not much information was provided by Reich today on these guys that are questionable in regards to if he feels like they're going to be active or not this Sunday. We have one more, which is a little strange. Cornerback Dante Jackson jumped on the injury report today, listed as questionable this Sunday versus the Indianapolis Colts. We got a few more of you all join us. Want to give some shout outs to Shakid Bartal. Okay, so this is a good question. I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. Where will you be hosting the pregame show? I'm going to be at the game. You'll be in section 546. So we always host a pregame show live outside of the stadium. Anybody watching that's going to be at the game is welcome to come by and join, check out the show from afar, or come on and ask any questions. Now, where we are, I believe, I'm going to forget this as we talk. Which gate it is. I believe it's the East Gate. See if I can quickly find an image. I'm sorry. Should know this by now. Let's see. I'm just very slow to come up. Let me click on another image. All these images are super small. All right, so we are on... we're by the East Gate. We will be by the East Gate this week, actually by the East Gate, closer to the North Gate. In between the East and North Gate, close to the Honeywell building is where we will be. That show will go live starting at 2 o'clock. It's a 4 o'clock game, so 2 o'clock we'll go live. So you're welcome to join us if you'll be there. That's right before the gates open. What's going on, 10 Tizzy? I haven't seen you in a minute. 10 Tizzy here. Appreciate you joining us, Tizzy. Got to adjust my levels here on my microphone. What's up, Lil Tank? Appreciate you joining me. And all right, so here's a question here. Nadar says, what do we know about the new cornerback? I'm going to get to that. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get to that. We had some transactions that happened today and yesterday. So we're going to get you up to date on all those transactions as well. Let me see if I can get the right screen here. All right, so the new cornerback that we claimed was David Long. We claimed him off of waivers. That's as a result of placing Claudin on injured reserve. This guy has familiarity with coordinator Ivero and our secondary coach Cooley. Long was a third-round pick out of Michigan. Spent his first 4 seasons with the Rams, and he has had 60 games, played 11 starts in his career, and that gets the roster back to 53. And not too sure how much you can expect him to play or be a part of things because, he needs to get a little bit more familiar with exactly. He doesn't even know the game plan. So I'm not sure he's going to get a chance to play, but that's what we know about him. And then we signed cornerback Mark Milton to the practice squad. So those are your most recent transactions for this Carolina Panthers team. What's going on, Chance Hines? Appreciate you. Noah, I don't have my earpiece in, so I can't play all the sound effects because it'll create all this feedback. But I'll just give you a little hand clap because we do lots of things to making sure that we welcome and acknowledge the members of this channel. Really important group of people as they support this channel. We're independent media. All of our travel costs, our equipment, all that stuff, we try to get from donations, cash apps, things like that from you all. Noah's one of our members, so appreciate that very much, Noah. Any updates on Marcus Haynes Jr.? I thought he'd be back by now, but he's still not. Yeah, no updates on Marquise, actually is how you say it, and then no updates on J.C. Horn. These guys taking a very long time. Yeah, Haynes hadn't played any games this season. So certainly a guy that you want to get back to our starters as quickly as you can. That would certainly be helpful to have Marquise Haynes back with Justin Houston going out, having that as your rotation versus DJ Johnson and some of the other guys. But hey, NFL, next man up. And certainly the Carolina Panthers are having to endure that mentality a lot this season. What's up? I'm looking forward to this next W. Shannon Tyler. That would be great. It was so much fun to report on the game after a victory, something that we have not been able to do not only this season, but even this preseason. We weren't able to come on air live after the game and talk about a victory. That was something that we were able to do this past Sunday. It would be really nice to be able to do that again. So hopefully we will. 10 Tizzy says, I've been gone for a bit, just moved and got 4 kids to wrangle. Yeah, moving and kids will be a lot for you. Hopefully things are going well. You all are starting to get settled and we'll be able to see, I say this selfishly, Tizzy, but hopefully that means we'll be able to see you more often on some of these shows. It's always fun to have some banter back and forth with everybody. Eric Schaffner, what's up? Go Panthers. And Michelle Yvette, hey Chris, late to the live. Looking forward to another W this week. Keep pounding. And Michelle is one of our members as well. So again, I can't play the sound effects because I don't have my earpiece in, but thank you so much for joining us and your support of the channel. So that's it for today. There may be a surprise live tomorrow. Unlike Tizzy, I don't have 4 here in the house. We have 3 here in the house. So there's some wrangling to do. But I got a lot of content from being inside the locker room this week. I'm not sure it's all going to fit into our show on Sunday because we're going to have so many people on that live show. So small chance that we'll go live again tomorrow. But hey, thank everybody for their support. Thanks everybody for watching. Scott Martin, before I get here, any thoughts on rumors that Horn may be able to play versus the Cowboys? Yeah, I don't have any because we haven't got any updates from him. I know that it is about, 2 games out, which is something that Coach was hinting about that could be happening. But with guys that have been out and haven't seen the field in quite a while, and they've been so tight-lipped about, with Corbett coming back, you kind of knew everything that was coming for Corbett, and it played out exactly as you thought it would. With J.C. Horn, you haven't heard anything about this guy's progress outside of when he went to have the procedure. Other than when he went on IR, and he's been missing some time. So We'll continue to monitor that and see. And then this is Nadar with pretty much a similar question. JC coming back Thursday versus Chicago. I don't know, but I can say this. I feel a lot more optimistic about the Cowboys game than I would the Chicago game, because you always want to see these guys come back and go through some practice, go through a little bit of contact, and then see how they respond. Chicago's going to be a short week. They probably, I don't even know if they're going to actually go in pads because it's such a quick turnaround. Normally Monday's off, film review day, Tuesday's off, Wednesday's install. Well, Wednesday this week is going to be a travel day to Chicago. So you're really only going to have probably Tuesday as their only day that they're going to be out there walking around. Really not a good environment to test out a guy to see if he's ready to come back from an injury that has had him out for several weeks. So in my strong opinion, no J.C. Horn at all versus Chicago. Pretty good candidate for him to be Dallas, because then it's going to be 10 days before the next game, have a chance to come back and see. All right. I like it. I can't be man to people if I don't ask questions. I appreciate you guys asking questions. And girls, I got to get some better terminology for that. I'm just so used to saying guys for whatever reason. But I will say this. There's always a link in every single video in the description for you to come on. Ask me your questions live. Let me see your face, all right? But let me go through these. Eric Schaefer, I'm debating if I should start Chuba in fantasy. I don't think Chuba's done anything that would warrant fantasy numbers. I mean, if he's a guy that you have the ability to start because, like, your main guy out, your number one or number two in fantasy. I haven't played fantasy in so long. I think most leagues you can play two, and maybe there's a flex. But I wouldn't put Chuba as, my one or two unless I had to. And even if I had to, I might look on the look and see who's hurt around the league and what guy may be stepping in his place. A team that runs the ball well. We don't run the ball well, right? So even though Chuba's going to be our primary guy, you can't look and say Chuba's going to have 20 carries and have an easy chance to get to 100 yards and score 6, because we haven't been running the ball well. Not well at all. Chuba's just been better, a lot better than Miles. Appreciate the question, Eric. Chance Hahn said, do you see us moving on from Sanders next year and running with Chuba? I think it's too early to tell at this juncture, but I feel like it's a very good possibility. Things are trending towards that way. I mean, anytime that you're the starter, you got a nice new contract, you got the best contract of any free agent running back by far this offseason. I mean, this team's believed in you. That means they had high hopes for you. And we're in week, I think, 9 technically at this point. Is it week 9? What week are we in? I don't know. You guys can give me some wiggle room there. We're almost at the midway point of the season. So I think that's week 8 for us. And he just had a game where he had 0 yards rushing. And Chuba had more than 0. Blackshear, everybody had more than 0. That's not a good trend. So there's definitely a trend right now to saying, hey, Miles Sanders, you may have to take a back seat. And Nader wants my prediction. I got to say that one for game time. If we win on Sunday, the playoff hype should start. The NFC South is wide open for us to win it. All right. I feel like that would be extremely too soon. Let me go ahead and look at the standings, just so I can have this right in front of me and talk very intelligently about it. Our division has we're already 3 games back of first. So Atlanta's a 500 team. Atlanta and New Orleans are 500 teams at 4-4. Buccaneers 3-4. Carolina Panthers 1-6. So that's saying that we'll have to win 3 games in a row while, these teams above us just going to slide. Certainly possible. But these other teams in the division, even though you say it was wide open, they've been playing like 500 ball, which is, it's just average. We've been playing well below average, and I'm excited about the victory against the Houston Texans, but we still continue to battle injuries, a lot of them to starters, and we made a lot of progress on the offensive side. I think Evero is doing a darn good job defensively because we just keep getting ate up defensively on injuries, and they come out and they play some pretty darn respectable defense, really solid defense. So we'll see, but the playoffs, that's a tough one for me to talk about. I wouldn't put that in the air to this team as a responsible media person right now to say, hey, let's think about the playoffs. Let's continue to focus on cheering this team on, getting behind them, and having them feel good. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe.